Don't receive it. Don't receive it.
First, giving honor to God and a big thanks to my Savior and to my pastor and our member who's here visiting with us this morning, my First Lady in her absence. Y'all know I'm a cry, right?
Go ahead.
And you know the beauty of crying is it's okay. You know, like tears, like Lady B said, tears of joy take us where we have to go. But we don't really have much choice in the matter, thank God. We are Christians, we do believe, and we're guided by a love and a power and a grace and a mercy that we can't always explain. But we know when it's telling us to do something that we need to do it, and when we're finished we find out why we were being led that way. You know, I'm just so grateful to everybody. When I got to the hospital after church, it was clear my friend was going to be out of the ICU that week. The doctor came by while I was there, and I got a chance to ask some questions, and you know, just like I said, help her daughter. And you know, I'm older, I'm wise, I'm an elder, so I'm supposed to have questions, and I'm supposed to have issues and concerns. And but I was able to just support her daughter. But when I started to tell my girlfriend about what happened here last Sunday, the tears just rolled down her face. And I told her, I said, in my God sister's son, Jesus is on the main line. And she said, yeah. And that was the most movement I've seen her make in almost 2 weeks. And I just, you know, it was so, we just sat there and cried. I read my Bible, read some other spiritual information for her. She's a Christian. And, you know, she wasn't prepared for what happened. You know, she knew she was having a cancer surgery. She knew it was going to be a major surgery, but the expectation was she was going to go home the next day and everything was going to be fine. She was just going to be on the mend. Well, that didn't happen. You know, that she landed in the ICU, and this last 2 weeks have been a big struggle. You know, I went to bed crying, I woke up crying, I went to bed praying, I woke up praying. But when I left here on Sunday, I knew that whatever needed to happen to shift was going to happen. And even if she wasn't going to get out the ICU that day or the next day, when I left here Sunday, I knew she was getting out the ICU. And on Thursday, when I was there, when I got there, she was still in the ICU, but she was sitting up. And she was, you know, she's talking by hand. She done created a whole nother language by hand. And at one point, the nurse was, I said, she's trying to tell you it's okay. She don't want you to do that. She said, oh, you understand her well? I said, yeah, I do. So, you know, my heart is so full, and I'm so happy. I feel like our lives are treasures. They really are treasures, and they're treasures that we have to treasure. You know, we do have to take care of ourselves. We do have to eat right. We do have to sleep right. We do have to stay out the club and the bar and the crack house, not because we're better than, but somebody already died for us. Somebody already died. Not just gave us a little money or a new outfit or a pat on the back, or somebody died. Somebody died so that we could be better. Not just different, but better. And so, you know, I'm really grateful that I grew up in a family that everybody knew where church was, and they didn't make no excuses for me to not be there. I know a lot of our children are growing up very different than we grew up. Very different. And I just want to go on record to say that children aren't bad. And these children here, they're a direct result of what we've given them. It wasn't like they went to another country and came back. They've been with us all along. So whatever we've done that hasn't been in the best of their interest, it hasn't been in the best of interest for us either. But we tend to be the kind of people that, you know, you can do stuff to us and it ain't no big deal. You can abuse us, misuse us, whatever, and it's not that big of a deal. But when there's an attack on either our children, the people we love, then Satan knows he's got a fight on his hands. Because that's when we roll up our sleeves, you know, we buck up and we say, okay, well, the joke is up. All bets are off. And so, you know, I'm thankful that I grew up around people who let me see what that looked like when I was a little girl, so that when it was my turn, when it was time for me to leave the club and the bar and the dope house and all that, when it was my turn to leave, I knew where to go, and because I knew where to go, I'm still here.
All right.
Satan still cringes when I get out the bed. He still goes, oh gosh, Sheila. Because he knows, what you gonna do to me? What you got that I ain't already dealt with? What you got that I haven't already walked through? What you got that you really think is gonna make me give anything? I wouldn't give nothing for my journey right now. You know, so, you know, I just had to throw that out there because the media is oh boy, that's a whole nother Sunday morning inspirational talk that I'm not going to get into. But the gift is that no matter what we see on TV, we're there too.
Yeah.
We're right there too. This whole world is looking at us right now, walking our walk and walking the talk. We walk in the talk.
Okay.
You know, we're walking like we say we are. We're living our lives according to what the scriptures have decided that we should do, and we're not making excuses for ourselves. We're not making excuses for poor choices, unwise decisions, you know, mishaps, or none of that. Life is right this second. And this second, when it leaves 60 seconds from now, it ain't never coming back. We are never going to be in this moment in time again. That's how precious life is. That's how precious we are. And that's what we came here to prove. God allowed mankind to come so for us to glorify Him. And like Pastor said this morning, when people say they don't believe in God, you got to believe in God to not believe in God.
That's right.
You just confirm that there's a God, or you wouldn't have nothing to believe in.
That's right.
There is a God, alive and well, in my heart, in the heart of all my sisters and brothers, even the ones who don't believe.
Okay.
Their talking is a little mixed up. Their words are confused. If they say they don't believe in God, they've confirmed for me that they believe in God.
That's right.
They're just a little, you know, confused. And I've been confused. I've never not believed in God, but I've been confused. I understand confusion. So, you know, I'm very, very, I can't tell you guys how much you helped me on Sunday. I really can't. I went to the hospital and I was in rare form. And it was because of all the prayers, the songs, the hugs, the love. I was overwhelmed, because that's why I called Pastor last week and told him, I said, hey, do what you could. And I was when I walked in that door. But when I left here on Sunday, I was in the house. And I went, you know, expecting a miracle. And I went expecting all the love, all the support, all the prayers, and all the songs to show up. And that's exactly what happened. So, you know, the power of prayer, we get to keep doing it so we get to keep learning. And that's why we're here. We get to keep growing and growing and growing so we can keep living and living and living, learning, and giving. I gave all week long. Anybody who had 5 minutes, I told them what happened here last Sunday. I had work. They had to tell me to shut. I was wearing people out. Just talking about what happened here last Sunday. So, you know, I'll never give God what God has given me. I'll never give as much as I've received. And my role is just to keep staying in there and keep trying to do more. And that's, I never would have got that. I never would have got that if God's love and grace and mercy has protected me out there. I went to an event, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be quiet. I went to an event of recovering women yesterday, and I'm not going to break any anonymities or anything like that. But the room was, you know, hundreds of women who had once been strung out, gone. Hundreds. Some have even lost children and CPS, all kinds of stuff. But we were triple, quadruple fold yesterday. And I looked around the room, and at one point I told my girlfriend who was with me, I said, look at this room. I said, by right, every one of us is supposed to be dead. Every one of us. Drugs and alcohol, the intent was to erase us, was to cancel us out. I said, every person we're looking at is not even supposed to be here. But look at God. Some mother, some grandmother, some father, some uncle, some auntie said, please don't let my child die out there. And as a result of that, love and grace and mercy stepped in, pulled us out of a living hell,
Come on now.
and planted our feet someplace. They might not all go to church, but you know, they may get to somebody's church at some point, but we were planted in a life that it's been far more beautiful than we could ever describe. And so, you know, I do have to shut up, because I could do this for months at a time without stopping. But, you know, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. You guys, just like I said, have no idea of how much you helped me last week. I mean, I felt like whatever my friend needed, I could do. Whatever her daughter needed, I could do. And I wasn't worried when I left here Sunday. I was not worried. And I was pretty broken up before I got here. So I just want to let everybody know that I love you. Thank you for your prayers. My girlfriend's name is Marika Earls, and I asked her, I said, can I say your name at church? Because, you know, we on the internet. She said, So her name is Marika Earls. Please continue to pray for her and other people who are struggling with medical issues. The things that we go through, we don't know we're going to go through.
That's right.
But when they come, when that hit comes, we have to show up. We have to roll our sleeves up. We have to pray. We have to get on our knees. We have to be prepared. We don't know what this life. The longer we're here, the more things are going to show up. I've been having this body almost 60 years. Stuff will have to go wrong with it. If I've been here almost 60 years, I'm going to deal with something. I'm going to go through some stuff. The gift is that I don't walk through nothing alone. I absolutely walk through nothing alone. I am loved. I am loved, and I love so much, and so many people I can't even stop talking about it. And I've been freed from a life of active addiction, not by any doing of my own, by the grace and the love and the mercy of a loving God. So I love you. Thank you so much. And when my friend gets home from the hospital,